All right, all right, all right. We are indeed. Yes.
We're back again. No, welcome
Yeah.
to another edition of Live Feed Read.
It's been a minute.
I'm Paul Reed, your host. The Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, Jason Crawford. There,
Yep.
it's what is it? Friday, 1 week
Yeah,
post
man.
storm,
Helene.
October the 4th, and there's another something brewing out there. Lord have
Yeah.
mercy.
Yeah.
Which
There's so
brings us to our topic. Our topic today is tips for handling property damage after a storm, which is apropos because we just had, I believe they're saying, one of the worst storms in 100-year Florida history.
wow.
Even though it did not, I think it was 75, 100 miles west of Tampa.
Mm.
Storm was so big, it was brutal,
It
just
was
brutal.
wild. It knocked
And
down trees all over our neighborhood, crossed power lines and communication lines in multiple parts of our neighborhood, fell on people's houses here. Like it's pretty
yeah, and
wild.
believe it or not, Jason and the people in Tallahassee got lucky. If
Yeah,
that
we did.
storm had not turned
Beth
a
is
little
lucky.
bit to the right, and feel bad for the people that were in the direct path, of course,
Yeah.
but if that storm had kept going where it was, Jason and I probably wouldn't be bringing this show to you because he probably wouldn't have electricity, internet, or otherwise, and maybe
No.
even a house, which
I
he just
already
bought.
Yeah, I was gonna say I already only just got internet back, like
Yeah.
like
All right,
yesterday.
well, let's jump
So,
into it because
all right.
it's a week into the post storm damage, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, my paralegal Michelle, right across the hall, so to speak, her
Mm-hmm.
son was one of the thousands and thousands of people who live in the storm surge affected area, and he's trying to navigate the
Ooh.
post storm insurance and repair your house and things of that nature. And what do you do? So
Yikes.
let's just talk about it.
Okay.
First and foremost, the first thing you should do is understand, which this mainly is storms surge, which is flood insurance. Now, if a
Okay.
tree fell on your house, that would be your homeowner's insurance. If some for whatever reason you had wind damage, that would be homeowner's insurance. But the great
Mm-hmm.
majority of these claims are storm surge. And so
So
what you
that's a
want, go
oh,
ahead.
I was gonna say it's a good. I had a friend who was telling me after one of the hurricanes that their house was torn down to the slab. And
Yeah,
like one of the first questions the insurance said was, "Well, we'll send somebody out there to assess whether or not it was flood damage or wind damage." And I'm like,
sure.
there's just a slab left. Yeah, it's both, right? I don't know. Is there a nuance to how that's
Oh, no,
calculated or yeah.
yeah, since we'll kind of shift a little bit. That's what we do here at Live Feed Read. I'll give you an example. When
Okay.
Katrina hit New Orleans, heck, it might have been 20 years ago.
Mm.
Like everybody, I remember watching TV, and one of the news reporters cut in, or was at an area where an electric pole transformer was arcing and about to
Oh,
blow up. The wind was blowing crazily, the rain, but the
yeah.
levees had not burst yet in New Orleans. And remember, the levees
Mm.
breaking, the dams failing, whatever you want to call it, that's what caused the majority of flooding in New Orleans. So
Okay.
this individual, like all of us, watching TV, was watching the electric wire bounce off of his house. And,
Oh.
at some point during the broadcast, which was only a few minutes, the house catches on fire and burnt to the ground. And then the levees
Wow.
burst and everything got flooded. All right. This is
Okay.
true story.
Wow.
Um,
Wow. It's like a
so he
country
makes
song.
it, he makes the claim and his under his homeowners, and they deny it. And they say, no, that's flood damage, just thinking that in New Orleans, everything was flood damage based on the levees. And he goes, no. He goes, my house caught on fire and burnt to the ground
Yeah.
before the levees burst. Well, of
Yeah.
course, insurance companies, being what they are, said, prove it. So he
Oh
goes,
boy.
okay, here's action footage from the local TV station showing my house burning to the ground before the dams burst, the levees
Wow.
burst. So Uh,
Okay.
there is a
Okay.
difference
Yeah.
between your property, your homeowners, and your flood insurance. Okay.
Okay. So back to your
So
tips. That's one of the first
well,
things
so
then
this
to.
this is mainly flood insurance,
Okay.
and in that on that note, flood insurance typically, and you need to look at it. And I got to be honest, every policy is different. It's almost like
Hmm.
buying a auto policy. You can buy different coverages. What people are going to find out, unfortunately, is a lot of the flood coverages, because it's through the federal government, don't provide for contents in your house. So they're going to provide for your house, the
Okay.
drywall and things of that nature. Most of them, having looking at these, will provide for your refrigerator, your stove, oven, and things of that nature.
But not
But
your
they don't
fancy
provide,
guitar.
but they don't provide coverage for your clothes, your furniture, your TV, and things of that nature.
Or that
And you might
signed
want
Les
to
Paul
ask yourself,
guitar, right?
why? Well, being the
Mm.
cynic that I am, uh, most individuals have a mortgage on their home.
Mm.
And so who tends to benefit if the home is restored with appliances? That's right, the bank.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
but does the bank care about your couch, your TV, your
Nah.
clothes? No, because
No.
if they have to repossess your home for whatever reason, and homes go into foreclosure, especially with the economy being what it is, right?
Mm.
They
So the
want their
basics.
home to be a home, not
Right.
walls with no flooring, no carpet, and no
Interesting.
refrigerator. So
Hmm.
most of the flood damages cover your appliances and the structure. So
Huh.
that's the first thing you're going to want to look at, is just what is covered under my policy. Because
Got you.
why do you want to know that? Uh, Deductibles typically start at about $10,000 or more on these flood insurance claims. So if you're doing the math, and I got to replace my drywall, and it's $5 a square foot or square yard, whatever it is, and I got my carpet and I got this. If it doesn't add up to $10,000 or more, and that's your deductible, well, are you going to wait
Ooh.
6 months to a year or 18 months for an insurance company to come out there and tell you, yeah, we're going to cover all of this thing, but it's less than $10,000, so you're not getting anything. In the meantime, you haven't rebuilt your home. So read your policy,
Mm.
uh, and understand what it is covered. All right, so number number one, get a
Let's
copy of
check
your
your policy.
policy.
Yeah.
Get a copy of both policies, your flood
Yeah.
insurance policy and your homeowner's insurance policy.
Yeah. Okay.
Just, and read them. Number two, contact both your flood insurance insurer, which is typically the federal government, FEMA related, and the flood insurance, and contact your homeowners. Under Florida law, the homeowner's insurance has 7 days to come out. Now, of course, that may fluctuate with the circumstances where mine doesn't
Emergency.
at now, but
Yeah.
theoretically, they need to come out and assess the damage and then state within 60 days whether they're going to pay the claim or not. I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you right now, if it's storm surge, your homeowners is not covering. Just that simple. If
Mm.
you don't have flood insurance, which I got
Mm.
to be honest, uh, where I live, I've got a pond in my backyard,
Right.
and because of that, the bank made me have flood insurance.
Okay.
God bless. The first thing I did when I paid off my home, I got rid of that $3,000 a year waste of money. Because I got news for you, Jason. If this pond, it's not a lake, it's a pond.
Yeah. It's small.
Thing floods, we don't have a Florida anymore. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
a waste of money. But
For
if you
you.
don't
For
have flood
you.
insurance,
Yeah.
you're pretty much out of luck. All right,
Yeah.
so check your policy, call both your insurance companies, put in a claim, and just and navigate that process. Number two, most important, document the damage. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we've talked about that before, but if we haven't, everybody and their mother has a cell phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
you understand this, you cannot take enough pictures. Don't just
Yeah.
go in your bedroom and take a picture of the bedroom and say thank you. Go over to your drawers,
Yeah.
open up your sock drawer, take a picture. Open up your underwear drawer, take a picture. Open up your whatever drawer, take a picture.
Okay.
That's Leanne calling. Hold on, let's take a break. You're
Hey.
on live feed, Reed. What do you want?
Oh, well, I was calling because this kid I know posted on Instagram that he needed a personal injury lawyer, and I said I'd give you his number to call.
All right, we're on live
Well,
feed,
good.
Reed. You text that to me.
I can't.
Bye.
Only the
That's
best
Leanne from New
personal injury
York.
attorney.
All right, so document your damage.
Yeah. You had
Go
also
into your-
mentioned
Hold on,
the,
Jason. Hold on, Jason.
oh,
Let me think of document your damage. Meaning go into the closet, take pictures, open up drawers, take pictures, go into your kitchen, open up your cabinets, take pictures. I know this sounds silly, but you saying I have this, I have that, you're going to get proven. Go into
Yeah.
your garage, just take pictures, take videos. And then what else do I want to do with those pictures and videos? You want to send them to an email.
Cloud.
Why? Phones get lost, phones get destroyed,
Or
phones get
damaged.
dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So email them to yourself.
Yes.
Start gathering receipts if you can. And what people don't realize, on credit cards, your statement can be used as a receipt. You can say, look, this is, I don't know, take your pick. This is my Target purchase
Right.
of whatever, and this is coincides. And if they're going to be that stringent, you could probably work backwards. But so look at bank accounts. Hey, people, they don't write checks anymore. Pollywog here writes checks and people laugh. Why? Here's the check I wrote for,
Right.
this, that, and the other.
Right.
So document damage. So what we have, number one, call your insurance company, both claims, read your policy, get a copy of your policy. Number two, thoroughly document the damage for your insurance company.
So
Number three,
just a
go ahead.
comment on that one, because you were talking about taking pictures. I remember we had talked about before getting pictures of things beforehand so that you have that, here's the after look of damage. So it's important to have those pictures before, like you were saying, and then also that documenting the damage whenever you get it, go back through and take pictures of the damage. That way there's a clear before and after of what happened. So I just wanted to clarify that. You didn't say it, so I just want to clarify that's what you're saying.
Yeah, Jason brings up, I believe, just a couple of weeks ago, because this storm had potentially have come, and we suggested or advised people to do just that. And hey, I'm not a soothsayer, but I hope the people did take the opportunity to do just that, because a lot of these homes in the innards, so to speak, are gone.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who unfortunately forgot to tie down his boat. It was on the lift. He put the lift up, but he didn't tie it down. This is up about an hour here and a half north of here on the coast. His boat is sitting across the channel in his neighbor's yard.
Wow.
And so,
Wow.
but his boat's fine. But the bottom line is, this storm did catastrophic damage, and
Yeah, man.
if you didn't document what you have, well, just do the best you can. But anyway, so document. Number two or number three, people don't realize you have a duty to mitigate your damages. And what does that mean? Well, that means you have to try to take steps to limit the damage to your property. So
sandbags, trenches.
Well, if you have, we had talked about this. If you have a broken window, you gotta put a tarp on it, or you gotta replace the window. You gotta seal it up. If you have drywall, you can't leave that drywall up to the point where now mold is an issue. And then what goes on? You got a hole in your roof. The roof's blown off. Now there ain't much you can do with that if your roof's blown off, and some of these things you just can't help. But to the best you can, mitigate your damages to prevent further damage to your home. All right, so
these always get hung up whenever it says, like, oh, that you have to take reasonable steps. What are so you're saying, like, tarping things that are existing problems so they don't get worse, or like your friend didn't tie down his boat, like that would be something that they would probably come back and be like,
Well, his
that's on
boat's not
you.
damaged. Yeah, his boat's not
That's good
damaged. It's in
news.
the neighbor's yard. So
That's good news.
unfortunately, I think he's going to have to try to hire a crane to get
Yeah.
his boat out of the yard. And I'll be
Yeah.
shocked if the insurance company pays for that.
Woof.
But either way,
Oof.
just, mitigate the damages your best you
Okay.
can. What people, and I'll give you an example of why people aren't doing that. So you and I are shifting here. You and I are in a car wreck.
Okay.
And you rear end me, and there's minor to moderate damage, but you and I could pull our cars off the roadway, but one person, usually the person that gets rear-ended, doesn't want to move their car to the police get there so they can prove that I was rear-ended and I wasn't at fault. No.
Right.
You go ahead and take a picture of your cars where they got rear-ended and then move them off the road. Well,
Okay.
people here think I don't want to tear out my drywall or fix this or fix that, because then the insurance company won't know what I actually did or what damage was actually done. That's just incorrect.
Okay.
That's where you want to document. Look, here's the drywall, there's the water lines. I need to remove it. Take pictures, take photographs, and just do the best you can again to mitigate the damages. So, but that's the concern. People don't touch anything, and then things get worse. Okay. The insurance companies understand this was a catastrophic storm, catastrophic damage, that there is not enough resources in America that's going to fix this problem from North Carolina to Tennessee to Georgia to Alabama to Florida. There's not enough construction workers. There's not enough insurance. There's just not enough people that you can wait to basically repair your home.
Yeah.
All right. And here's to me, you would think consult with an experienced storm insurance attorney, to me, would be the most important part of this. It is not. Let me do you people a favor.
Okay.
You should, of course, consult an experienced attorney to assist you with this process. Okay, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Obviously, we have commercials and billboards and websites. Do not pay a contractor, someone that comes to your house, money up front to do any work. Okay, do not. And people are going to get ripped off, and they're going to do this. Someone's going to come say, hey, I'll do your roof, I'll do you that, but it's going to be $20,000. I need $10,000 up front so I can get the material to get started. They're going to give them the money, and you're never going to see that person again.
Oh, man.
Because they have a little sign on a truck, or they have this, they have that. Number one, research the contractor. Research the roofer, the drywall, or the cement guy, the pool guy. Whoever, research them through the Florida Department of Business and things of that nature. And make sure they're reputable. Make sure their license is still intact. Nowadays, if you do a Google research, even though people can make fake pages, there are things you need to do other than just trust someone showing up at your house saying, we want to do A, B, and C. Because they're going to. They are 100% going to do that.
It sucks, but that's true.
In my opinion, if a contractor or someone doesn't have the money to lay out for the product, say the shingles, the plywood, or otherwise, okay, then I wouldn't use them. That having been said, in this catastrophic situation, right? Some may not. That doesn't mean they're not reputable. That doesn't mean they won't do a wonderful job. But then do yourself a favor. You go to Lowe's, you go to Home Depot, you go on, you buy the product yourself with your credit card. Rather than giving someone a check or giving someone cash, you have the product delivered to you, and guess what? You never see them again. Well, you still have your you have the plywood, you have the aluminum gutter,
siding,
you have the tile. So if that's the case, then fine. I'll buy the product and I'll pay you to put it in. And when it's put in properly and we've looked at it and we've agreed the job well done, I'll pay you.
Got it. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Well, these are
that
good
was
tips.
not rocket science.
Yeah. No, these are good tips. This is
Yeah.
good information. I think this is
All
very
right,
helpful in
and
steering.
we'll get out of here. To recap, contact your insurance company, get a copy of your policy, read it,
Mm-hmm.
and know what you're dealing with. Document your damages. You cannot take enough pictures or enough videos. Mitigate your damages. Fix what's broken. Do the best you can. Consult, and again,
Absolutely.
I'm not taking these out of, consult with an experienced storm insurance attorney.
Yeah.
Even if you don't ultimately going to need to hire someone because, hopefully the federal government or your insurance company or whomever treats you fairly, great. Then you may never need an attorney. But I got news for you. Not every single person out there in TV land is going to be treated fairly by their insurance company.
Sure. Certainly.
Example.
Well,
I didn't see this, but someone had called me and said, "Hey, did you see the 60 Minutes last weekend?" Which was, I think, was it before the storm or right after? Either way, I will tell you, and I'm not going to name the company, but it was my insurance company that they featured on 60 Minutes. And what had happened, one of the examples the person told me was the insurance company actually sent someone out, an adjuster, and said, this is $500,000 in damages. Well, they go back to the company and they say $500,000. Other people at the company said, okay, we're offering you 15,000.
what?
Yep.
What?
And I didn't see the show, but evidently, if you Google last week's or the week before 60 Minutes,
Man, I believe it.
insurance companies, that's what happens.
I believe it.
If you're that person,
Good night.
obviously give us a call.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And finally, again, I can't say this enough because it happens in all areas, not just related to storm. There's a guy now sitting in jail because of Pinellas, Hillsborough, and I think Pasco. He started building swimming pools. He took there was
man.
100 of them that he took the money and ran.
Heard
And
about
now
that.
poor
Yeah.
people, I mean, like nice swimming pools, 50,000, 70,000, 100,000. Their money is given to him. He didn't fix complete the jobs, and now they're screwed. So just never pay a contractor up front, in my opinion. I know some contractors will probably disagree, and there are many reputable contractors. They're my friends. I have them do work at my house, and all I'm saying is, unless this, buy the product yourself. If that's what's required, we need 50% up front. Fine. What do you need the money for? I need the money for the shingles, the drywall. Okay, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good advice.
Come and put it in. That's just my suggestion.
It's good advice.
That will prevent you from having to call us and say, well, I want to sue, Johnny contractor or otherwise, who doesn't have, is gone and doesn't have the money, and you can't find them and things of that nature. So, and you think I don't know what I'm talking about. Ryan was going to,
you do.
The other Reed and Reed was going to build a dock. Guy came out, Ryan gave him $2,500, sayonara, never saw him again. Well, luckily for us, so to speak, we're lawyers. Go kid yourself. Oh, I sued him, got the money back, but it was not easy. Just to get $2,500, we
got to
had
spend it.
Almost basically have the judge say, you've got until Friday to pay this money, or you're going to jail, because he lied. He just lied and lied and lied and lied, and
It's
the
sad.
judge ordered him to do this and do that and everything else, till finally the judge just got fed up. Well, you can't pay a lawyer. My guess is, on a $2,500 or a $5,000 claim, you would lose money if you had to pay a lawyer
to do it.
I did to collect that $2,500. You follow me?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it was what I had to do would probably cost you $25,000 to do what I did for $2,500.
And that's why people can do it and get away with it. And that's a great these are great cautionary tales, and I think that's great advice. And the tips are awesome. And before we call today's stream to a close, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put a link up to those tips in the description whenever we are finished here, and so that it'll be available for everyone to see. And then they could also use that page as a reference if somebody says, hey, if you see this and you go, oh my goodness, one of my friends needs to see it or something like that, the link will be there, and there's ways to contact through that page as well. So if they need an attorney, all of that can be provided in the description.
Yeah,
so.
and yeah, if you go to Reed and Reed, needreed.com, we've got the call us, the why Reed and Reed attorneys, personal injury, but right besides property insurance, click on that and educate yourself. And we hope that it's a helpful tool. And again, just give us a call. It's a free call. I mean, you literally have zero to lose by calling and say, hey, I've got a question. Well, I'll give you an answer. And guess who's going to answer it?
Yeah.
Me or Ryan.
Paul.
You're not going to get a case manager. You're not going to get a paralegal. They're all qualified. You're not going to get a this. You're going to talk to Ryan or myself. So
especially if you start to see red flags of being in one of these situations. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's Friday. Weekend's coming up. Keep an eye out there. They say even if this disturbance down south doesn't turn into any kind of tropical system, i.e., tropical storm, hurricane, they said Florida is going to get some rain. So,
be prepared.
Prepare accordingly for possibly some decent rain next week.
All right, man.
Jason, take us on out of here.
You got it.
God willing, we will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
You got it.
Reed and Reed, it's like having a lawyer in the family.